Metro Boomin just released the soundtrack to Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse. Let's talk about it. Metro! Believe it or not, this soundtrack is better than the first soundtrack from the first movie, and I think it's going to be talked about in the same breath as Black Panther, in my opinion. Metro continues to evolve as a producer. There are a lot of sounds on this album that you don't generally hear from him, and the artists that he chose to feature over these beats are perfectly curated, and they fit perfectly with the vibe and the story of this movie. I just finished my viewing of the movie, and I gotta say it's fantastic. If you want to know any more of my thoughts on the movie, you of course can follow my letterbox, but I do have to say that this great movie wouldn't be as great without this great soundtrack. A lot of the tracks off of this soundtrack are used alongside in the film, and they fit perfectly. The way that the comic book style animation of these films, which by the way is so top tier, how it looks is exactly how Metro Boomin's comic book style production sounds. In fact, from Heroes and Villains you can see his main theme was comic book. So yeah, it just works. The album starts off with Annihilate, which features an Offset verse, which is awesome. What's a Spider-Man soundtrack without featuring Sway Lee, of course, and it also features Lil Wayne, who Metro claims is the best rapper alive, and you can't really blame him. Then we get Am I Dreamin', which features A$AP Rocky and Royce. Metro's got a great ear because the Royce feature is fire, and when asked who she is, he responds, The Future. He might be right. All the Way Live pairs Future with Lil Uzi Vert. Their vocals sound incredible together. This is a duo that I need to hear more from. They feed off of each other really nicely, and they just complement each other. Danger has the lesser of the two Offset verses on this soundtrack, but the JID verse is phenomenal. Hummingbird is absolutely gorgeous. A duo I did not know that I needed was James Blake over Metro Boomin production, but now that I have it, I cannot get enough. His vocals sound heavenly, and he floats over the style of production. Calling features Sway Lee again, Nav, and A Boogie. It's more of a poppy type track, and it's better than I expected it to be. When we get to this point in the track listing, Silk and Cologne and Link Up, those definitely are the two weakest tracks on the album in my opinion. But immediately following that, we get another hard-hitting feature. Coyle Ray sounds incredible. Her vocals are mesmerizing over Metro production. We slow it down on this track, and it is a nice change of pace. Home is really fire. We already knew that Don Toliver sounded amazing over Metro production, but Lil Uzi Vert paired with those vocals, it's a match made in heaven. Nonviolent Communication is definitely a favorite of mine on the album. James Blake, A$AP Rocky, and 21 Savage, it's a perfect trio. Speaking of perfect trios though, immediately after we get Given Up. Don Toliver and 21 Savage again, also paired with 2 Chainz, it's a perfect storm. And Nas rapping about Spider-Man is not something that I ever thought I would say in my life, but I'm glad that I'm saying it now. Also, Metro puts together a fantastic outro on this track, which closes the album very nicely. As always, I'm adding my favorite tracks released this week to my New Music Friday playlist, which you can find the link to my Spotify in my bio. However, I am very, very tired after my late night showing of the movie and then listening to this album and then making this video, so I don't think I'm going to listen to anything more tonight, but I'll get the playlist updated by tomorrow. This soundtrack is one of the best movie soundtracks of all time in my opinion, and I don't think I'm over-exaggerating when I say that. It's a must listen, but please let me know below in the comments, what do you think about Metro Boomin's new soundtrack for the new Spider-Man movie? I'm Honeybee Reviews. Don't forget to follow me for more music related content.